We love to eat out. We take vacations often and we like to try new food. We live in Japan, so we want to try all of the local food, but we also have 5 kids, so we had to find a way to make it affordable. So we've adjusted and frugality is our default. I'll show you what I mean. Let's get started. Please don't forget to subscribe for more videos on money, minimalism, our travel journey around the world. We publish a new video every week. We've developed so many ways to save money whenever we go out to eat at restaurants that some of them are ingrained in us, and whenever I was coming up with the ideas for this video, I had to really think because it's just the default now and it's just what we do. So I'm going to give you 8 ways to save money when you eat out at a restaurant, and at the end we're going to talk about 11 tricks that restaurants use to make you spend more money. Number 1, sharing. Sure, buffets frown upon sharing, but most other restaurants are used to it. Our kids range between the ages of 4 and 16, so it makes sense in a lot of instances for them to share. Since we have 4 older kids, they usually get together and figure out who's going to share with who. It saves money and it builds reasoning and decision-making skills with the kids. Okay, that was kind of a joke about the decision. But it does. It really does. Our kids have actually learned reasoning and negotiation skills with each other through doing it this way. But sharing is the point. Plus, with sharing, kids are usually able to get larger portions by getting the adult meals, which brings me to my next point. Number 2, avoid the kids menu. Preparation for this video, I also did some research to see what other people are doing to save money at restaurants, and I came across a few articles that said things like order off the kids menu for adults. False. The kids menu is almost always a scam, especially at corporate restaurants. The kids menu is full of all kinds of marketing and advertising schemes to get them to want to buy more and to kind of force you into buying more for them. So this is a good opportunity for you to teach your kids about marketing and advertising and why they think they want what's on the kids menu and what the restaurant did to make them want that. And look at the prices. It's often not much cheaper than the regular menu, and then you often have to pay extra for the drink or for the dessert or for whatever add-ons you're going to get, but they don't advertise that part on the kids menu. Actual lunch and dinner portions are always going to be much larger than the kids menu options, and they're probably not that much more expensive, and oftentimes they're large enough for them to share one instead of buying 2. Number 3, don't get too fancy. We love to eat out, but that doesn't always mean that we're going to eat out at a white tablecloth restaurant. We prefer smaller restaurants, often going and picking up the food. Often the hole-in-the-wall restaurants are the best restaurants anyways, but going and picking up the food at some local restaurant, plus that saves money on gratuity. If you tip, we live in Japan, they don't tip here, but if you do tip. The point is, I can promise you, your kids like to just go out. They like to go out and eat at a restaurant. They really don't care what restaurant it is. That's why McDonald's is often going to be their first choice if they have to decide. They just want to go out. They just want to spend time with you, even if they don't realize that that's why they're really wanting to go out. And it's fun for them. So don't get too fancy. Just go to some more inexpensive restaurants if you go out to eat. And on occasion, we've even went to McDonald's and got some burgers and then came home and got a 12-pack of soda, which was the price of 1 or 2 sodas at McDonald's, and then bought some fries for 50 cents a bag and cooked them in the oven, and then made a whole McDonald's meal at home, and the kids loved that. And for our family of 7, it probably cost us like $10 for an occasional treat like that. Number 4, use coupons and specials. So those coupons that you probably get in the mail, whether it's actual mail or email, are often actually really good. Places like Pizza Hut, Domino's, and even the fast food restaurants, if you're gonna do that occasionally, there's often a lot of really good deals in there. Just make sure it's something that you actually were gonna buy and they're not getting you to spend more money because of a deal. Scout out your local restaurants for specific nights that they do certain specials, the kids eat free nights, those kinds of things. You can use different websites, and I can put some links below where you can buy gift cards for certain restaurants at lower prices. Just be sure you buy them for restaurants that you would have eaten at anyways, so that you're not, again, spending more money for a deal. You can also look for places where kids eat free. I'll put a link below to plenty of restaurants where kids can eat free on certain nights, typically. And that's anywhere from Applebee's to Bob Evans to Firehouse Subs, all kinds of places. Number 5, watch the small costs. Sometimes we'll set a specific amount for a meal that we refuse to go over. It's really just for fun, but it's also helpful for getting strategic in how you order. The small costs will really add up, and you'll see that whenever you say, I'm going to spend $20 or $30 or $40 and no more. You'll see how much the little cost and the drinks and other stuff like that add up. So while you don't have to do this for every meal, if you struggle with small costs like appetizers and drinks and things like that, try setting a specific amount a few times and then show your kids that you do this and use it as a teaching opportunity. And I'm not saying that you should only drink water with every meal. Sometimes it's fun to have a soda or something else, but just watch the costs. Whenever we're in the States, we often do drink water because it's cheaper, but whenever we're in Europe, beer and wine are often cheaper than water, so sometimes we will do stuff like that. Seems like a splurge, but it's actually cheaper. They don't give out free tap water in most of Europe, so sometimes a beer or a wine is what it is. Number 6, consider getting it to go. I talked a little bit about this earlier. This is similar to making a list when you go to the grocery store or making your order online for a grocery store. If you get it to go, you decide what everything is all at one time and you can't get anything more and you go. You don't have to worry about dessert or the kids wanting a drink. You can get drinks at home, but getting it to go is often a lot cheaper. We often do takeout and get a meal and bring it home and still do dinner around the dinner table with the takeout. Number 7, eat out for the right reasons. Like I keep saying, we love eating out, but we love eating out for the experience, to try new food, for the fun. If you find that you're eating out more for convenience because you don't want to cook, consider your meal planning. You can go back and watch my video that I did on the grocery budget and meal planning, but consider how you do your meal planning if you're mostly eating out of convenience, because that's not the right answer. That's not intentional. The main idea is to just ask yourself why you're eating out, while you're eating out, when you're eating out, and figure out if that's what you want to be doing or if that's just what life is kind of thrown at you, and you can adjust. Finally, number 8, know and avoid the menu tricks. There's a lot of tricks in marketing, especially on chain restaurant menus, and they will get you to spend more money. I actually found a really good infographic on this, so we're going to go over 11 different tricks that restaurants use to make you spend more money whenever you're out. Number 1, they put higher profit items in boxes. Menu design is a real science. Designers know that putting a slightly pricier item in a box means your eye is drawn to it at first, and it seems like it must be special. So check the listed items first before looking at specials. Number 2, they reference family in the names of dishes. Description menus increase sales by 27%. You're more likely to buy food that's prefixed with grandma's or Uncle X's. The effect inspires nostalgia and trust. Focus on the tangible qualities described: ingredients, flavor, and cooking method. Number 3, they use meaningless size descriptions. Dishes can be described as half and full. Half portions usually cost more than half, making the full version seem like a bargain. Ask the waiter to point out the same dish on someone else's table. Number 4, they hide good value items in the lower left area of the menu. This type of menu psychology was introduced by Alban Seberg in his book Menu Design. You tend to ignore the bottom left corner, so that's where they tuck less profitable dishes. Begin pursuing the menu from the bottom corner, not the top. Number 5, they dazzle you with an unfeasible expensive dish. Experts say the main reason for including a 3-digit dish on the menu is to make everything else seem more affordable. Avoid expensive items that are displayed near the 3-digit special. Number 6, they play classical music. Research from the University of Leicester has shown that you are likely to pay more when a restaurant plays music, particularly if it's classical, which makes you feel wealthier. If the restaurant is playing music, make your decisions using the display menu before you go in. Number 7, the waiter tells you the specials. When non-menu items are described by the waiter, you are more likely to order without asking the price. There's no way around it, simply ask. Number 8, they ask if you prefer sparkling or still water. When the waiter gives you 2 options, you are likely to choose from what they offer instead of requesting the tap water you wanted. Specify that you would like tap water when you first ask. That's a thing in the States for sure. In Europe, a lot of times they don't offer tap water, or it's kind of frowned upon to ask for the free tap water, but because it's like you're asking for a handout. But in the States, definitely, there's going to be free tap water. Number 9, the buffet begins with salad and bread. Buffet restaurants start with low-cost foods so that you have no room left on your plate when you reach the meat counter. To get the value, head to the meats first. Number 10, the second cheapest wine has the biggest markup. Everybody knows that ordering the second cheapest wine seems cultured yet thrifty. Restaurants will often inflate the price on that particular wine. The house wine on the menu is likely to be a better deal. Number 11, they don't include money signs. A euro or a pound or dollar symbol reminds you that you're spending money. Excluding them tricks you to focus more on the dining experience and less on the cost. Set your budget before you get the specified amount from an ATM. So all of the tricks and everything that I included in this video is the stuff that I just thought of off the top of my head, the things that we actually do, the things that we actually practice. There's plenty of other apps and little ways to save money here and there, but they're very tedious and I don't know if they're all worth the time, so I didn't include those tips here. That being said, continue to go find more videos and more articles on how to save money when eating out at restaurants, because I do think it's important. It's an important part of our life. Food is part of culture and every culture that I've been to. So just find ways to make it more affordable. Please don't forget to subscribe for more of the money, the minimalism, the travel videos. Check out my book, Intentional Children. I'll put a link in the description. It talks about everything you need to know in relation to your kids on money and mindset. That is all for today. I will see you next week.